In this video, we're going to make snare drums that sound like this. So if we look at a spectrum analyzer for this sound, we can see that the sound starts around 200 Hz and then it goes all the way up to 5 kHz, and then we have a filter that filters up the sound for the higher frequencies. And we can see that there's an initial attack here and then the sound comes in afterwards. So to create this, we need to have two layers for our sound. One for the initial transient, and the second one is for the body of the sound, which is going to add texture to your snare. Now let's build the sound. The first layer that we need to start with is the attack layer. For this, I'm using HVAC. Make this really short because this is going to be the attack of our sound. I've set the note length for 23 milliseconds. Then we're going to add an EQ to boost the lows, and we're going to add a filter to remove some highs. Again, this is set around 5000 Hz, so we're matching that tone that we initially saw at the start of the video. We're then going to add another EQ, and this is just removing some lows. The next sound we're going to add is going to be the body of the sound, and a lot of people use white noise to create this, but I like to use noisy samples. So in Vital we have different sounds, so you can either use brown noise, pink noise and white noise, and these are the traditional noise samples, but I like to use any of these other ones, and these ones sound a lot more interesting and add a bit more texture to your snare sound. We're going to be starting with grinder, pitch it down, add a filter. Then we're going to boost the lows around 82 Hz. The most important thing for this layer is to add a short delay. So what's going to happen is the attack layer is going to come in first, and then the body layer is going to come in afterwards. Here's the before and after. Then add some more plugins to shape the sound to get the exact tone you want for this layer. I've added some EQ, distortion and more EQ. And this is a very nice bright snare sound, but a trick if you want to make your snare sound a bit more mellow for like R&B type music is to add a drum bus and set the damping around 1K, and this is going to filter off the higher frequencies. Then we can add an EQ to shape our sound a bit further. I'm removing this resonant note at 1K and I'm boosting 4K just to add a bit more snap to the snare sound. To tweak this sound, there are various things you can do. The main thing I'd suggest is going into the body sound and then choosing a different sample. The pitch of the sample will give your sound a different texture. Try to use sounds that don't have a tonal element to it, and if it does, you can EQ those resonances out so it sounds a bit more like noise instead of having a distinct pitch. Some snares work with a pitch in there, but I like to have snares that sound a bit more matted and muted. This video was a short snippet from our drum sound design course where we cover how to make kicks, snares, hi-hats and percussion. So if you want to learn how to make your own drum sounds for your music, check out the link in the description.